running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
Hey beautiful babes, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by for my 23 and 24 week pregnancy update with my twins. These past few weeks have been pretty crazy. My symptoms have been picking up, and you will notice I am getting very out of breath. I know that I've been out of breath in a lot of my videos, but like, it's getting serious now. These two babies have grown so much. They are pushing way up into my rib cage now, and it has just definitely gotten a lot harder the past couple of weeks. So I'm gonna go through all my symptoms like usual. I'm gonna talk about my progress, about the baby's progress and growth, and fill you guys in on absolutely everything that happened during weeks 23 and 24 of my pregnancy. Okay, so week 23 wasn't too different from week 22. If you have watched my week 21 and 22 week update, it was pretty similar. I will link it in the description box below just in case you guys haven't seen that one yet, because you'll definitely want to watch that one before this one, just so you guys can keep up with the progress as the pregnancy goes along. But my 23 wasn't too crazy different. And during week 23, we actually started to get Chloe's new bedroom ready, which I will have a video coming up later this week to show you guys a reveal of her brand new bedroom. So make sure that you guys are subscribed and that your bell notification is turned on so you guys don't miss that, because I'm really excited about it. But during week 23 was when we started to transition some of her furniture out of her room into that room to prepare the larger of the two bedrooms for the twins' nursery. So Chloe we have a 3-bedroom house, and Chloe had been in like the second largest bedroom. We have the master's the largest, and there's a second largest one, and then there's a smaller 3rd bedroom. And that was used as a guest room. Recently, we had to move all of our guest room furniture into our basement, and we set up a little guest space. It's like a finished basement. So we set up a little guest space in our basement area, and then we decided to move Chloe's furniture and stuff into that room. So that's what was happening during week 23 for us around the house, and week 24 as well. So that was pretty exciting. Her moving into that room and getting a kind of a fresh new space, which she's done really great transitioning in so far. I can't wait for you guys to see how it turned out in that video that will be up later this week. Okay, so as far as my symptoms go, I didn't have a ton of crazy symptoms during week 23. A lot of times during week 23, I would notice that the babies would kind of stop moving for a while, and nothing worrisome, but I just happen to have a lot of anxiety and I'm a nervous person. So whenever that would happen, I would just kind of like poke at them and be like, hey, you in there? Yep. Which is probably so annoying because I'm sure they're just trying to sleep and nap and everything. But I just want to check in on them and make sure that they're doing okay. And I am sure that a lot of you other pregnant mamas out there completely understand that when you stop feeling movements, you're like, oh, is everything all right? So that was kind of the only thing that popped up during week 23. Now, during week 24, I had the mother load of symptoms. I am telling you, every type of symptom started hitting me during week 24. I actually did end up gaining. So by the end of week 24, I was weighing 175. So that means that I have gained a little bit over 20 pounds so far during the pregnancy. And that was a pretty big gain in a short period of time. So my belly just felt so sore and stretched, and it just felt like it had done a lot of work, if that makes any sense to you guys. Still no stretch marks showing yet. And one of these days I'll remember to not wear a dress when I'm filming, and I'll be able to show you guys my actual belly. So hopefully I remember that next week. But I will still show you guys my bump, but you won't be able to see like the skin. And so I don't have any stretch marks yet, but I could feel how stretched my belly was getting and just feel how sore everything was. My Spd pain actually did pick up quite a bit too. So anytime I'm sitting for a long period of time, standing for a long period of time, pretty much doing anything, if I crouch down, like Chloe drops her food on the floor and I have to kind of crouch down to get it, or she's like trying to play with me and I have to crouch down, I end up getting in so much pain whenever I try to stand up in my pelvis, because the bones are just like moving and grinding against each other, and it is just very, very, very uncomfortable. And so that was not fun. I also started getting Charley horses occasionally at night. It's not every night, but I have gotten them a few times. And I did notice that I was getting them on days that I either like did a lot of work outside where I was getting sweaty, and so I was losing some of my water through sweating, or on days where maybe I didn't drink enough water and I looked back and thought, yeah, I probably was not drinking enough water. And I am, like most of you guys know, a huge water advocate. I drink so much water all day long, and it's my biggest beverage that I consume. And so for me, not drinking enough water, I do notice side effects of it. I'll often get headaches and stuff like that when I'm not pregnant, but I do think that that actually contributed to me getting some nighttime Charley horses, which, if you guys have never experienced a Charley horse in your calves, you are very lucky. I actually never got them growing up. Like a lot of my friends and family members have gotten Charley horses from growing pains when they were younger and going through puberty and stuff like that. I never experienced that. I actually have pretty short legs, so that might have contributed to me not getting growing pains. But when I was pregnant with Chloe, I definitely got Charley horses quite a few times, and it was eye-opening to me. So if you have never experienced them, I hope that you never have to, but it is just a really, like, your muscle spasms and tightens up in your calf, and it hurts so bad it wakes you up in the middle of the night. And all I can do is, like, if my leg is out like this, like, I guess like this, I can bend my foot back and stretch it out, and that's the best thing I can do, but it hurts so bad to do that, but it makes it go away a little bit faster. A lot of people have told me about magnesium lotions and sprays that are meant to help. I tried a spray. I didn't notice a huge difference in using the magnesium spray. However, this is gonna sound crazy, guys, but my mom told me that her mother, so my grandmother, gave her a bar of soap to put in the bed with her when she was pregnant and she was getting Charley horses, and that supposedly there's magnesium or something in the bar of soap. I don't know what it is, but you sleep with a bar of soap in the bed with you and it makes you not get Charley horses. So any night that I have done that, I have not had a Charley horse. And like I said, maybe it sounds crazy to sleep in bed with a bar of soap, but if it works, it works. And I was actually talking to my sister-in-law and she said, that sounds so nuts, like what? And I said, yeah, but even if it actually doesn't like have a physical effect, but like my brain is telling me like this soap thing is working, I'm not gonna have a Charley horse tonight, then it's worth it, because for whatever reason, I'm not getting them when I sleep with a bar of soap in the bed. So if you're having Charley horses, or if you've ever tried the bar of soap trick or heard of the bar of soap trick, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm super interested to know about this. I Googled it and it actually is like kind of a common old wives' tale. So I'd love to know if any of you have tried it for your Charley horses, or supposedly it also works for restless leg syndrome, which can be a symptom of pregnancy as well. So that was another one of my symptoms that I was getting during week 24. The list goes on. During week 24, I also started getting some pretty bad constipation. Lovely, right? Sorry guys, I know we don't love to talk about it, but it is a symptom of pregnancy. And unfortunately, it is a symptom that I have been having now for, I'm 25 weeks pregnant now, and it's still continuing. So it's not lovely. But like I said, it's just a part of life, and unfortunately, it's a not great symptom that I'm experiencing right now, but you know, I'm sure there are some of you out there who are also experiencing some constipation or, issues with your digestion, and it's just nice to know that you're not the only one. I've also noticed that I've been really easily losing my patience and a little bit more irritable than normal, and it could just be hormone related, pregnancy related, or it just could be also everything going on in the world right now with COVID and craziness and not getting to do things that I normally do and not getting out and seeing people that I normally get to see. So that could also have an impact on it as well. But I definitely have noticed some differences in my mood lately. I try and be a really positive person because I do have really bad anxiety, and my anxiety can, if I let it, my anxiety could control my entire life. And so I work really hard to keep a positive attitude, put positivity out there, try and stay in a good mindset so that I don't let my anxiety overwhelm me. And I'm usually much better at it than I have been the last couple of weeks. So especially during week 24. Another symptom that I got during week 24 was some sciatic pain, which is something that I actually did not ever get with Chloe. And this may be because we did end up taking, at the end of week 24, we ended up taking a drive to my husband's parents' house, and they live about 4.5 hours away, plus we have to stop about twice. So it usually takes us a little over 5 hours to get to my in-laws' house, and we wanted to spend a little bit of time with them before the babies come, and we actually haven't seen them since before Christmas. So it's so crazy, but we had all these times that we had planned to see them, but then when COVID happened, we had to put all of that on hold. And so we decided if we were going to get to see them before the babies came, we needed to take that opportunity. So over 4th of July weekend, we did a get together with them and did social distancing with we didn't really see anyone else while we were there, which was sad. We wanted to see the rest of Ryan's family, but we just were being really, really cautious right now with COVID. And so we decided to only see his immediate family that was staying at the house. But it was really, really nice. We got to hang out with Chloe's grandparents. Chloe got to see her little cousin, and we got to see Ryan's brother and sister-in-law, and so it was really lovely for the weekend. However, being in the car for 5 hours there and 5 hours home did end up flaring up some symptoms such as sciatic pain. So luckily I only got it a couple of times after both of those drives, and I haven't had it since. But it is really, really uncomfortable. It's, just sharp pain back in your tailbone area, and it's very, very painful. But luckily for me, it did not last a very long time. Another symptom I got after both drives was swelling in my legs and feet. So I have not experienced swelling in my legs and feet this pregnancy yet, other than during those 2 drives and just after those drives. And I'm not sure if it's just because I was sitting for so long and I'm not used to sitting that long, or at least not having my feet up, because if I sit for a long time on these, they recline, so I try and put my feet up so that I don't get swelling. So that was another symptom that was not super fun. And hopefully, because we're not planning on going anywhere else until after the babies are born, hopefully we do not end up having any more swelling issues. Although I do know at the end of the pregnancy, I definitely will experience some swelling. It's just part of the whole package deal. I'm actually talking about swelling and I'm not wearing my rings. So my rings are still fitting most of the time. So the only reason I took them off is because I was doing some yard work this morning, and when I do stuff in the heat outside, my hands do start to get a little bit swollen, and so I like to take my rings off before doing anything like that, just in case the swelling doesn't go back down. I would never want to have to cut off my wedding rings and my Chloe ring, which are the ones that I wear every day. So I just make sure to take them off before I do work like that. And then normally, like, my hands are not swollen right now. I just haven't put my rings back on. But I have just been keeping an eye on my hands, making sure that if I get to the point where they're too swollen, I'm just not gonna wear my rings anymore, which is fine. With Chloe, I wore my rings up until 38 weeks and I had her at 39 weeks. So I really only had them off for about a week and a half before I ended up putting them back on again. So we'll see this time how it goes. Obviously, with this pregnancy, I'm gaining more weight. I am, you know, going to be more swollen and stuff like that. I just expect that that's just the way that it's going to be. Okay, and per the usual, guys, I'm gonna show you guys just right over here a little bit from the Pregnancy Plus app, just so you guys can see what the babies are looking like down in the womb. It's pretty cool to be able to see that on my phone and to hit that actual size button and just see how big they're getting in comparison to my phone, because they are getting so big. This week, during week 24, the babies were the size of romaine lettuce or Napa cabbage, depending on which app I was looking at, which is just crazy to see how big that they were. I also did end up going to the doctor during week 24, and I do have a little bit of footage. My husband was able to FaceTime with me while I was at the doctor, so he was able to see them. And he did actually do a little screen recording of some of the baby footage. So we do have a little bit of that footage for you guys to see. So I'm gonna just be overlaying that right now. It's just always such a relief to be able to see them, hear their heartbeats, know everything that's going on with them. One of the biggest things to happen this week that I discussed with my doctor was that we reached viability. At week 24, the babies are viable outside of the womb and can survive with NICU help. So if for any reason, which God forbid, we hope that it won't, but if for any reason they were going to need to be born early at this point in their life, they might be able to be just fine with NICU help. So that's just a relief to, I feel like, all moms, no matter what kind of pregnancy, if it's a singleton or a multiple pregnancy, you just feel a little bit more relief when you finally hit that number of 24 weeks for viability. Both babies were weighing 1 pound 7 ounces this week, and that was really great to hear because that's about 1.5 pounds. It's pretty exciting to know that your babies are getting so big. And I was excited to find out that they only had a 3% difference in their size. So when they did their growth measurements, Mackenzie was just 3% smaller, which is apparently really, really good for twins. Most of the time, twins do end up having a little bit of a size gap, but they just want to keep an eye and make sure that that size gap doesn't go more than 20%. Meaning that one baby would be consuming more of the nutrients than the other and kind of like taking too much. So at this point, they are sharing very well. So let's hope that that is a sign for our future that they will be really good at sharing with each other. I'm not sure if it works that way. But it was really great to see that. Their heart rates were both, I think Miles was 150 and Mackenzie was 155 if I remember correctly. So their heart rates were both great while we were there, and it was just really awesome to be able to see them. I also had my gestational diabetes test done at week 24, and I was able to pass that test. So I do not have gestational diabetes. I don't have to get the 3-hour test. And this time they gave me a fruit punch flavored drink versus the orange that I had with Chloe, and it really wasn't terrible. It just tasted like really sugary high C to me. The cool thing is they gave me that to take home at a previous appointment, and I was able to refrigerate it, and then I just chugged it and then hopped in the car and drove to my appointment. So I got to tell them this is exactly when I took the drink, and then they drew my blood exactly 1 hour later. So I only ended up having to wait in the office for about 10 minutes, and that was really nice. I did not have to wait in the office for the entire hour. When I had it with Chloe, I had to go into, I was a different doctor's office, but I had to go into the doctor's office, drink it, and then sit down, hold a timer, and wait for an hour to get my blood drawn. So I liked this process much better, especially with COVID and everything. You don't want to have to sit in an office for a really long period of time where other people might be in and out. So that was really awesome. Not that I love taking the drink or anything. It's still not great, but I'm just glad that we were able to do it in the least inconvenient way possible. Also during that appointment, my doctor just went over a few things with me. We are going to be doing my next appointment at 28 weeks, and then after that, my appointments will start going every 2 weeks. And at some point, my appointments are going to be like once to twice a week when they start doing the fetal monitoring. So things are about to start rapidly picking up in the next couple of weeks. Once I start going more often, it's going to be a lot different. At my 28-week appointment is when I will have to get my RoGam shot. And for those of you who are blessed like me with negative type blood, you will also have to get a RoGam shot. And it basically just means that in case either, in my case, of the babies have positive type blood, which my husband does, so there is a chance that they could get positive type blood. In the case that they would get positive type blood, my body might think that their body is attacking me, and so basically it could cause a lot of problems in premature birth and things like that with the pregnancy. But with a simple shot, the RoGam shot, you're able to help that not happen, help kind of trick your body into just allowing the babies to progress. So I am a negative type blood. I got the RoGam shot when I was pregnant with Chloe as well, because my husband has positive blood, so there's a chance that the babies could also be positive. Chloe ended up being negative, so I only had to get the RoGam shot during pregnancy. I did not have to get one after birth. But if either of these babies have positive blood type, then after birth, I will most likely need to get another round of RoGam, just to make sure that if there was any kind of blood or anything like that mixing during the birth, that my body doesn't start to reject that and start to have an issue. So it's really not too bad. It's just a shot in your butt. If you haven't had it before, it's not ideal. Nobody loves getting a shot in their butt, but it's also not the worst thing that, could possibly happen. So that'll be happening at my 28-week appointment, and my doctor just kind of filled me in on that, which luckily I've been through it before, so I was already aware of most of it. So this week, the baby's nerves are branching out, connecting their brain and limbs to their organs, which I think is pretty cool. It's definitely a new development in their ability to start to use those nerves to function different parts of their bodies. The babies are working on their facial muscles and raising their eyebrows, which I think is great. A lot of facial expressions come from your eyebrows, so I think that's awesome that they're already starting to work on those in the womb. Their internal ear reaches its adult size and shape, which is actually pretty cool. The internal ear is already at the size and shape that it needs to be when they are in utero. The baby's lungs are making the surfactant that they need to breathe air. So the babies have already been practice breathing with amniotic fluid, but at this point they are preparing to be able to breathe air. So if for some reason I was going to go into premature labor, they would give me a steroid shot to help the lungs along, because the lungs are the last organ, I believe, to finish developing completely. And so that steroid injection would be something that they would give you to try and help the baby's lungs hurry it along so that they'll be more prepared to breathe air in the real world. But it's good to know that they're already starting to prepare themselves on their own. So normally at this point in the video, I would show you guys a haul of anything that I have gotten over the past couple of weeks. However, most of the stuff that I have bought the past couple of weeks has been all for their nursery, and I don't want to spoil anything because I plan on doing a really big nursery tour, reveal, decorate with me type of thing. So I don't want to spoil any of the things that I purchased for their nursery quite yet. I'm just not ready to share that with you guys yet. So once their nursery is finished, you will see everything that I bought during weeks 23 and 24 to prepare for their nursery. In the meantime, let me know in the comments below, would you rather see a nursery reveal, a decorate with me and reveal, or a complete start to finish nursery, sort of like a DIY renovation type of video? Let me know how you guys would like to see that, because I'm really interested. I do a lot of DIY videos and stuff like that on my channel, so I love doing that kind of stuff, but I'm not always sure that everyone else is as into it as I am. Sometimes people just like to see the pretty finished project at the end and not the whole process leading up to it. So I would love to know from your opinion what you would like to see when I do that video in a couple of weeks. Okay guys, without further ado, let me show you guys my 24-week vote. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week and for coming along with me on this pregnancy journey. I can't believe how far into it. It is blowing my mind how far into it I am. The fact that I am, I think, less than 100 days to my due date, and which means way less than that to my induction date. It's just blowing my mind. But I'm so grateful that you guys have wanted to come along on this journey with me, that you're following my pregnancy, and I hope that I'm being helpful for you if you are a pregnant mama watching this, especially if you're a pregnant mama with twins or multiples. Congratulations, by the way, if you are. I'm so excited for you, and I hope that you guys are excited for me too. Okay guys, make sure that you hit that red subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, because it really helps my channel. Every time I get a thumbs up on a video, it helps my channel out so much more than you even know. Leave me a comment below, especially if you're new. Please introduce yourself. Let me know who you are. Say hey. I love talking to you guys down in the comments, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. All right, babes. Love ya. Bye.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling.